I'm at the Camper Caravan Show in Warsaw, or near Warsaw, Nadajin, and this is a Balcamp Mercedes conversion. And let's have a look inside. I can't give you the price, but if you're interested you'll have to write to the company. I don't know what the price is. But things like this though are done to original order, so you've got to say what you want and they'll tell you how much it'll cost and then they'll do it. So giving prices is actually quite a little bit pointless really if something is made to order, because it doesn't make much sense. Right, okay. Here we have the dinette. Tables a bit on the small side. You might want a bigger table, for example. But as you come in, it's the high roof version of the Mercedes. You've got Sprinter, so you've got plenty of room in here as you sit down here. You've got an extension to the kitchen top, which is up there. Now the trick with the Sprinter, like many of these van conversions, is how you can get everything into such a narrow space, and this unfortunately are not really suitable for particularly tall people, or for that matter particularly large people in other ways. And sensibly there's sleeping here for only 2 people, which I think is about right given the size of the van. Now vans like this are only really about 10, 15, maybe 20 centimeters, or from, should I say, 10 centimeters narrower than the motorhome, but that extra 10 centimeters really makes a huge amount of difference when in the overall vehicle. And let's have a look at one of the problems here. The first problem you've got to get is the how do you get the bathroom in? Well, you see there's a reasonable gangway there between the fridge and hanging space on the left hand side as you come from the bed, on my left hand side, our left hand side, and getting into the bathroom. Now, washroom here, and you may think it looks small, but for a van this size it certainly is not. There's plenty of room in there. There's me in the mirror, and I'll show you how much headroom there is. So I'm 1.75 m, so you've got my hand, because about 187, 88, something like that. In here, toilet down there, but it's okay. I mean, it's not huge amounts of space, but let's remember that this is a vehicle which you can put into a car parking space. Now just put that up like that, got a better view. So I think that's quite good. Fixed sink. Personally I prefer fixed sinks, although I do appreciate the point of having one that goes up and down, is it does save you a bit of space. The bottom, there's one plug hole in the centre. It's a domestic sized one, so at least you can get a sort of a net there to catch the bits that fall off you and the stones which seem to get into the vehicle anyway. And other bits of grit and sand and what have you. I like this thing in the door. I mean, it's quite a simple thing as well, but something got a bit there to hang your, not only to hang your towels, maybe to hang your socks after you've washed them, things like that. Okay, let's have a look under the bed first. As you can see, it's a boiler on one side, the other side a bit of extra storage, and these runners, you can actually move things around, so that helps with a modular approach should you want to move anything. I don't know, maybe you might get some boxes or something to put in there, along those lines. Fridge is 2-way electronic, and up here we've got a bit more space. The problem with the vans, of course, it's the way the outer wall slopes. As you can see here, the way it slopes. And another problem is getting enough space to be able to sleep in. And it's width-wise, there's not a lot of room in these vans, and I'll show you from the outside how they've got around it. You can sort of see from here though what's happened. I'll take you outside and show you that though. Got an electric plug down there, 230 volts. There's quite a lot of storage up there. People often ask, I think the most common request I get is show me some Sprinter vans, and so I'm going to show you all the Sprinter vans here. Well, that's my aim anyway, and I think I got all of them in Dusseldorf. I might have missed a couple, but I think I got the lot. But I've got such a huge now collection of vans to show that it takes some time to actually get through the lot, and it's not helped by the fact that I publish the first things first, or the last things first I should say, not the first things first, the last things first. So things from this event will go up immediately, and I've still got things from the CMT trade fair in January, which was what, 8 months ago now, waiting to be published. I've got more than 30 films from that, and things from Dusseldorf will also be knocked out of the way. So that's how I do it. Right, so bike rack on the back, and here you can see how they extended the space inside to by putting this thing here on, and it doesn't extend the width of the van by that amount because it's already sloping, but it does by a little bit. Of course, you've already got your mirrors hanging out anyway down there, but it's not a lot. I want to make this quite clear. If you sort of draw a line down here, you can see it isn't much of an extension. It really is a pity that the Sprinter, well, in fact nearly all vans are like this, are not in more of a box shape. Now I appreciate that they make the vans for delivery people, and they've got other aerodynamic things to think about, and not for particularly for campers. Now some vans are getting, the Boxer is a box, for example. It's more like, I think the Renault van as well is somewhat more box-like. But for camper conversions, it is a pity. But I mean, as far as Mercedes is concerned, how many of their vans end up being used for camper vans? It's, I don't know, 0.1 or 0.05, something like that. It's a tiny amount compared to those which are used for other purposes, and this is things which make it difficult for converters, or indeed if you decide to do your own van at home, it's using that space. With such a small van, a 6-meter van, I think as much as possible, unless you're particularly tall, you do want to do it at a width-wise bed, not a lengthwise bed, and so that makes sense. I have all sympathy for tall people, the minority group within the camper world, because it's so difficult, and I really do appreciate this. So difficult getting a van when you're particularly tall. So if you're somewhat short, you really are quite lucky as far as camping is concerned. Right, have a look at some of the other vans. Here I'll be filming. I'll film all of them on this stand, and I think in the past most of these things are already on my site. Certainly all of these bursters are already on my site, and I've got 1 or 2 Adrias on my site as well, but not a lot. I haven't got that many Adrias. But anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to concentrate on the Mercedes, and I'm going to try and do the camper vans first, and then I might move over to the motorhomes. So if you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and I'll try and give you more.